Thursday, the 11th of July. Welcome, everyone. I am Bosin Namafaya, and this is your Frontier opening bell. We've got a bit of a mixed Wednesday midweek trading activities across the Pan-African market. A very big jump, roughly 6%, thereabouts on the Zimbabwe Stock Exchange. And that's quite a very big one for the country as Zimbabwe looks to the first 100 days of the new currency. The ZiG backed by gold is been able to survive so far, trading roughly 1,400 against the US dollar. The Ghana stock market rebounds on Wednesday, as well as the BRVM in West Africa. If you just add Nigeria to that story, a flattish finishing line despite the gains that we saw in Dangote Sugar, Lafarge Africa, as well as a few other names in the consumer and industrial goods space, including oil and gas. The banking sector was where trading action was concentrated as expected. The stock market, for the first time, opened the two windows for banks doing right issue instead of the shares going on technical suspension, trading suspension. The exchange, for the first time in its 62-year history, decided to leave the windows open for the shares to be actively traded on the floor, while the rights offer is also going on at the marketplace. So it's a very interesting time right now. So investors got a window to play, whether on the right side or the secondary market trading floor side. And that's where you saw $7.7 million in total turnover value among the top 5 big banks in Nigeria: Fidelity, UBA, Zenith, GITCO, and Access Core. And the 3 of them are already in the market: GITCO, Access Core, as well as Fidelity Bank doing a dual offer. Let's get out of Nigerian market, go into the North Africa, where the EGX saw 0.63% decline on the main index. The Nairobi market eked out just 0.06%, while South Africa GSE fell by roughly 0.25%. That's the All Share Index. That's just a broad outline of our trading day Wednesday. Let me take it further. Looking into the top headlines across East and Central Africa as we get towards the end of the business and markets week. The capital gains in Kenya. The capital gain tax is at a record 8.38 billion shillings, and that's what the government is reporting. The government needs all the shillings on the table it can get. In the meantime, Uganda shillings continue to remain stable thanks to offshore investors bringing FX into the landlocked East African economy. And the DRC is now Kenya's fastest growing East African communities export market since the DRC joined the East African community just a couple of months ago. And that's bringing a whole lot of benefits to Kenya, the biggest economy east of the continent, now with a very stronger and a bigger handshake with the DR Congo in Central African Republic region, I mean to say. And Amson's group of Tanzania is moving to buy 100% of Kenya's Bamburi cement for about 180 million US dollars. That's one of the business deal that we're looking at right now between these two East African community. Amson's group consists of oil and gas business and a few other business under its portfolio. And finally, within the region, Ethiopia says it rents a record of $1.4 billion from coffee exports. Despite the fact that Robusta coffee is still expensive worldwide, there's a bit of an issue. Demand is also high. China is cultivating a habit, not just drinking tea, but adding coffee. That's with some good news for Ethiopia, the biggest coffee exporter out of the African continent. Now let's move on into West Africa and check in a couple of headlines for you just as we get on with our Thursday cheap West Africa iron ore supply, according to news sources, is going to build up next year, and that could dent price is currently at about $100. Iron ore is a major component of industrial manufacturing, and supply is building up in Guinea, the Simandou project, and a few others within this West African region is looking to bring more supply to the market outside Chile and a few other regions around the world where that critical mineral is being extracted. And Nigeria is going green in September this year. Well, it's gone green already, but it's getting greener by looking at $250 million bond offer by the federal government in September. That announcement came yesterday, Wednesday, the 10th, as the NGX also announced the creation of a new board. It's called the Impact Board. It will allow companies or issuers, broadly speaking, including the government, to float the sustainable bonds on the Nigerian exchange. Quite a new horizon. The Minister of the Environment was at the trading floor, as well as the head of the Securities and Exchange Commission, to close the trading day. Next door in Benin Republic, the country is looking to export the first batch of 80,000 garments, children's wears that are made in Benin Republic to Europe. And destination is France. It's a new deal that's been put together that will see thousands and thousands of garments made in Benin Republic being exported this year and next year to Europe. Good news. Congratulations to Benin Republic. Let's get more of that come out of the African continent. In the Gambia, is getting Bardia's $50 million. That's the Arab Bank for Development and Reconstruction, and all that the bank is doing for the African continent is putting $50 million on the table to support the Gambia in West Africa to import essential food items, just as Nigeria also announced what you call the Fire Brigade emergency measures over the last few days to bring in, to take taxes and duties and levies off certain food items, including grains, bringing them into the country and try to spend the next 180 days to stem the rising food inflation and the scarcity of bread that has been reported across the country because the price of flour and a few other ingredients are getting beyond manufacturers' reach. So they're shutting down businesses, and the price for a loaf of bread is now as high as 1,500 naira. In Ghana, inflation, the magic, whatever is happening in Accra with the President Nana Akufo-Addo's administration, taking inflation down from around 56% last year and is reading 22.8% year-on-year basis for last month. That's the latest from Accra, Ghana. Let's get on to Southern Africa and bring in a couple of headlines into the mix this Thursday for you. Now, Shell Petroleum is looking to do oil drilling offshore South Africa. South Africa is looking to be part of the hydrocarbon industry in Africa. In the meantime, the executive board meeting of the African Petroleum Producers Organization of APPO ends today in Congo, Brazzaville. We're looking to hear more from Dr. Farouk, who is the head of that organization. Also in Southern Africa, Zimbabwe is looking at a further encouraging the use of the ZiG currency, while a couple of earnings are coming through from some of the listed company from Malawi to Zambia. Those are in the headlines. And finally, in North Africa, Egypt is reporting a very decent forex reserves, while Afreximbank says its new academy will now be able to train African corporates in the first week of September in terms of how to take advantage of the new AFCFTA. And those are the headlines for this Thursday, the 11th of July. I am Bosin Amafai. Have a great day and bye for now.